Hello and welcome to Halftone Burger's video response to Monkeyfarm's endless spawner timer. He made this binary switch, which works pretty well. I can't get it to work in creative mode because my my torches keep burning out, and it's starting to piss me off. It works fine in regular mode though. But anyway, the main problem with this though is this turns on and off on a certain cycle. Like every 15 seconds it'll be on, and then 15 seconds it'll be off. The thing of that is half of your spawner is going to be completely useless for those 15 seconds because it's flooded. It's not going to spawn anything. It'd be better to have a shorter pulse, like a 6-second on with a 45-second off or something like that, so they can spawn and then they get shoved off the pads. Spawn shoved off the pads, and just cycle it that way instead. So basically you want a I didn't come up with this, but this is what I use. I use a circular pattern like this with pistons and then a torch on the bottom, and you see the signal goes up through to this torch. It goes up through the corner here, and it doesn't conduct through solid stone, but when that glass block comes around, it will, and then that turns this off, and that goes to your, you can send this out to your mob farm, and then it'll flood all the pads. So basically how I build it is it starts with this little just a circuit like this, and I'll shut this off for a second, and you just build it like that, and all you have to do is give it a pulse, and then the pulse will just keep going around, and you can slow this down and speed it up to adjust your time. Yeah, you just don't want it going constant like that because it'll be, yeah, okay, there you go. And now to build the rest of this thing, what you need to do, I mean, you can make this any size you want. I'll make a 4, that one's a 5, so 1 2 3 4, 1 2 3 4, 1 2 3 4, and then you're going to want to put obsidian in the corners, otherwise the pistons will over push, and you don't want them pushing when there's not a space there. And then to wire this up, you just kind of give it a little bit of a room and go all the way around with redstone, hooking it up to, we'll shut that off. Made this a little too close. Start back up again. Alright. And then your starter here, and then you got to put redstone repeaters in between every piston, and I'll just put these on one tick. So I got one there, I need one there, I need one there, and one, oops, there. So that'll go around, and then you notice the pistons go really fast. So what you got to do is, I'll grab stone instead. You just basically got to fill it up with stone. Okay, there's 2 spaces, so it's still going quick. Now I'm going to put a glass block in here. Now there's still a little space. See there now. If I add one more, come on, it stops completely because it can't push. So you just take one out, and then you have the glass block going around. And so what you need to do to power this, to make it a switch, is a redstone torch, a little bit of redstone here, one here. So notice it powers through on the when it's on the glass block, but not when it isn't. And you can send this out to your mob farm. And basically the idea is to have this off for 40 seconds or so, and the mobs will be spawning, and then when the glass block comes around, it'll turn on, or this will turn off for 3 or 4 seconds, You can set it to be longer or shorter, to flush the mobs, and then it'll be open again. And then you can to time this, you can speed it up and slow it down by making it bigger, or increasing the delays on your redstone repeaters, and you notice it going a lot slower. You don't have to have these even, so you can even get more advanced with that too, or you get more accurate however long you want it. But basically, yeah, that's basically how that machine works. And then I'll go to my world and I'll show you how I have it set up. So we'll go to this one. And yeah, okay, yeah, I copied that from you, so because it looks cool as hell. I'm running a Powercraft mod, which has these nice little teleporters, and I'll just go down to the spawn room. And this room is kind of under construction. I had a big squeezer and stuff, but since I got the power mod and I'm absolutely loving it, I've kind of remade everything. The mobs come from my mobs farm up here, and then there's a laser beam that kills them, and then an XP table right there, which collects XP. But anyway, here is the timer switch, and you'll notice it's the four wide, and it's going decently slow. But the idea is to have it turn off for 40 seconds and then on for about 6. So I have it set up to do that, and the glass box coming around right now. You'll see it's turned off, and that means it's flooding. And then we'll just go over here, and you'll see the water is still falling on my mob farm. I don't know if you can see that, but it'll be pretty dark. And then it's off, and then the mobs can spawn on here for the next 40 seconds or whatever until the glass block comes around again. So that's that. I have a few other extra things. I have another redstone coming over to this switch, and this is the flush override. So if I turn that on, it'll flood the pad constantly, no matter what. It doesn't matter what this is doing, this will still run. But that night they can get in and work on stuff and do whatever. And then there's a flush timer indicator, and that's just because I've noticed a couple times when I log out, this will shut off. It happens very rarely, like once every 30 times or something. Usually when I do a crash or something like that, or just exit hastily, it'll turn that off. But this little indicator lets me know that it's still working, and I don't have to go into that room. I'll eventually close all this up and make it look pretty. Yeah, because there's a lot of work to do. Like I said, I gotta redo this whole deal. But this whole, with the Powercraft mod, all of that clock and stuff is completely obsolete, because it has these pulsar blocks, and you can set these for however long you want. I have another one right here. I'll just pop that down. It comes with a 2-second. That's like the default. But yeah, you'll notice it just ticks on its own, and you can set these however long or short you want. You've seen a few things get die here by the laser. When the laser hits it, when they hit this little pad, it turns the roaster on. It turns the laser on, and they get XP is about 75% of what you normally get. I don't know why it's coded in that way, but and then it comes around to this little XP table, and that gets stored here, and all the drops fall down to the conveyor, which I'm going to have a different sorting room, and that's all going to get built yet. And so I got a little bit of work to do. Anyway, that's pretty much it. Thanks anyway. I've been watching your videos a long time, so I really appreciate it. Alright.